Struggle meal, mayo, buffalo chicken, thang. Call Big Lou. Okay, I have to press one more, and all buttons ready. Extra fat. You guys have to clean my cup out. Could I please sit in front of the camera correctly? Because it's off center. All right, and now I'm centered. Didn't bring any napkins home. That's fucked up. Here we go. Eggs. Next. Radio. 1:58 in the morning. Where's my propaganda? News radio, my ass.
And this weekend, they went 0 for 4. This is The Herd with Colin Cowher. Wow. Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. 3, 2, 1. Stu Gatz. Yes. And he Gatz Company. I love that. Stu Gatz and Company. That's what you do. Unapologetic. They're blended sports.
I'm eating my dinner.
Individual sport. Whatever they want. I once went to 11 consecutive bet shows at Madison Square Garden. What? It's Stu Gatz and Company. Live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. FS1.
McDonald's mayonnaise on a tortilla.
To find FS1 on your television, go to Fox Sports.
Perfect pour.
FS1.
You fold. You got nice radio, 2 a.m.
There's a new champion in college football, and it's the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers, who took down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21. This is the Hoosiers' first national title ever. Their defense had a blocked punt for a touchdown and an interception late in the game that sealed the win for Indiana. Fernando Mendoza threw for 186 yards, and he had a rushing touchdown. Here's Miami head coach Mario Cristobal.
I wish I could have done more. I wish we would have done more because I do think they are a deserving group, but in football, deserve has nothing to do with it.
The Hoosiers.
Credit to Indiana for putting together a great win, and I'm really, really proud of our guys.
In the NFL, the Titans are finalizing a deal to make 49ers defensive coordinator coordinator Robert Saleh their next head coach, and he plans to call defensive plays this time around. In the NBA, the Warriors beat the Heat 135-112, but Jimmy Butler hurt his knee in the third quarter.
Well, you can play the Rams in 4 years because the Rams just beat the Titans on week 1.
Over the top, in your face, and he's turning your speakers
Ooh, ooh.
loud, piercing sound without your consent. I don't care, I'll do it. You want concise, you want
Who's in my chat? I got a comment.
very offensive, and when you ask, you
That's the best.
Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios.
3 comments.
Ben Maller, the teacher's pet. Well, sucking up to the teacher anyway. Welcome in the beginning of another hour of the Ben Maller Show. We are in the air everywhere.
Yes. Who is this guy? Wilson, who is this guy?
Your audio overnight friends room, coast to coast.
Danzig is not Prussia. Danzig is not Prussia.
Graciously powerful microphones of FSR emanating live from the pond. Just a little froggy.
Sorry, Wilson, gonna have to ask you to give Danzig back.
Fox Sports Radio studios. Now, Doggy, Mississippi reminds us that this portion of the Ben Maller Show made possible in part by our friends at Tire Rack. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers like
Return it
Bama Man
to Ukraine.
for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free.
Because they ain't getting to Crimea.
Hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. That makes Alameda Lou very happy.
They ain't getting the Crimea back.
The way tire buying should be. And the Russian kid says, what about those dude wipes? Oh, yeah, come on now. Have you ever
Hey, what about those dude wipes?
toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets?
Is dry paper as good as it gets? No, well, it's not. Now you can use a moist dude wipe. It's better. It just cleans better. I know at this. Yeah, I know because the radio said so. Yeah. Can't argue with the radio. You can complain about television because half of everything on TV is fake. They're more concerned about what you see. The radio can just say what they want. They just say they don't have to show you anything. Okay. Me, I don't even have any wipes. I can't blow my nose. I can't wipe my ass. I got some Clorox I can do the floor. And I'm pissed as fuck. It said there was 75 wipes and I didn't use 75 wipes. There's like less than 10 left already. Dude. The dude tucks. How does it work? You take a dude wipe. You wipe, and then you tuck, and then you tuck the wipe in like a tampon. That's right. You know, if you tuck it in, you still have half a wipe left. Yeah. All American. I gotta get the Remus. Should I be dude wipe? Should I yell dude wipes with my mouth full? I should have a skit lined up for my next Remus episode. I didn't even take my boots off. Yes. Back hurts. I need to get sponsors. Corsair, Ram. Big. The hottest thing on the shelf in America. Corsair, Pirate, Ram. What else is hot? The Gabagool. Yeah, Gabagool. Uncle Remus. Gabagool. Wipe the Gabagool right off. The Gabagool in, Gabagool out. The Gabagool! I want to be in New York. In New York, man. I better take some wipes with me. What are we looking at here? Get eggs. I'm gonna drop a sub. I'm gonna drop a like because my mouse is over it right now. Be coherent before I become belligerent. 8 views on the 12-minute mark. It's a quiet night. Quiet night. There's no black quarterbacks, bro. Who do I vote for, dude? There's no black quarterbacks. What? There's no S's left. You're gonna tell me I just typed no S's left, and I hit BLACK. Good job. They still have zero on a religious tolerance scale, and they take their guns to church, and they won a football championship in an invite-only tournament with home field advantage in Miami. But they didn't even. I mean, was there no Miami fans? That means nobody saw it. Yeah, L. You don't see me hyping up Indiana. It's disgusting. It's just Dagobah is. You must go to the Dagobah. It's like Yoda. Yoda fucking. Everything's a swamp. But it's not really a swamp. It's more like a forest. The swamp is over by Cleveland. What do they do? They like to race cars. Do the Indy 500? Yeah. That's how you win an NCAA football championship. Does Indiana have electricity? Yeah. It's too bad. We can't take it back. They're just wasting it, bro. They're just wasting electricity. They have the Sega channel. They're downloading Sega games in the 90s, man. They're fucking, what's wrong with those people? Do you see me downloading Sega games? on Genesis. No, I just put the game in. Click, 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 click. My wife was like, we had the Sega channel. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I did have Game Genie. I did have one. You gotta have one. I don't even know how I got it. Like half of my games, I don't know how I got my games. But you get into the Super Nintendo era game, I kind of remember how I got them all. Let's go. Here comes Mr. Remus. Dun, 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 dun. Don't trigger me. Trigger warning. Hopefully I don't chew it up and start spitting when I talk. Indiana, zero religious tolerance. Did I stutter? My Game Genie, the book got mold on it. It's still good. It's still good. You open up that Game Genie book, it's covered in mold. All the pages are black. The black stuff all over everything. Get the code, and then you beat the game. And it won't help you in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the bullshit. Game Genie and Konami doesn't work. There's no good Konami codes. Konami code. There's no codes. Nine lives is not a code. If you use the Game Genie for an extra life, that's fucking nothing. I need a real code, like jump through the fucking, my Mario was jumping from the bottom of the screen up, and he was coming up. You play Excite Bike, you go off a ramp, you fly off, and then you come up the bottom of the screen. That's Game Genie. Nobody's ever seen Simon Belmont jump like that. It's too bad. It's too bad. No password system, no save feature. No good codes. Yeah, there's nothing. And I'm mellow. The sense of understanding. I'm like Bill Cosby with my jazz records. Nobody can. Well, he was a loser. Bill Cosby was a loser collecting jazz records. I can remember the jazz. I don't need to have jazz. Trump. Trump, 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 Trump. "20 minutes in, I got the eggs down. I got the chicken down. I got the tortillas down. I ate the mayo. I'm sitting on eight tortillas, a can of beans, 2 packages of mayos, 1 fruit cup, about 19 ounces in my cup. Nearly empty vape carts. Over a full pack. Life is slowing down. It's winter. It's supposed to be like the center of excitement. But it's like you can Super Bowl 50 was bigger. 50th anniversary is pretty damn big. We're at America's 250th anniversary, not the 260th. Super Bowl 1, Los Angeles. Super Bowl 61, Los Angeles. Nobody cares where the other ones were. Nobody cares. Most of the Super Bowls are in abandoned buildings. Obsolete, derelict locations like the Big Sombrero, Rose Bowl. Jack Murphy, San Diego. Now, today's national championship in Miami at the Hard Rock Garden. They renamed that stadium so many times that it's pretty much also still a derelict building. The Silverdome, derelict building. Yes, sir. A hard word, brick. Yeah. Bricks are hard. Hit chat with the hard words. That's the name of my show. Excited by the title of the show. Most people don't read what I named the show. So, Richard Sherman is hitting Sam Darnold with hard words that if Richard Sherman didn't have stupid hair, nobody would remember him. Richard Sherman. Pro Football Reference, 144 games. Uh, 11 seasons. Acid. Yes, hello, mustache. I got a note on the door that says the smoke alarm will go off tomorrow. And the lights. We're getting the full. And they're going to enter my room. which isn't normal. They don't usually say we're entering rooms during the smoke test. That's today, tomorrow, Tuesday. That's what I'm thinking about. Oh, 25 ounces is enough tonight. I'm sipping my ounces. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay. How old is that show? It's got a Wikipedia page. $153 episodes. With, I always watch the same episode multiple times, and sucks, Syndication is like season 1 and half of season 2. According to Netflix. Let me chug my beer. I watched Trailer Park Boys too, but this shit ain't new, bro. This is like 2007 at best. They're probably making the movie in 2008, and the final good episode of Trailer Park Boys is probably 2006. So, I watched that in my mama's home. The movie came out October 2006. So they made all the good episodes before that. You want some pastrami? Please. Is that what's that shit about? Struggle meals? Is it fun or does it lose its edge? Ricky is trash. I don't admire anybody on the show. Maybe the guy that drinks is okay. The guy that I thought was Tommy Dreamer. He's like the only one there trying to make a regular show. Everybody else is outside the trailer. Bubbles is arrested, right? Bubbles in jail. Isn't he in jail? Tom Green is the greatest comedian, and he says the Hannibal will beat the legacy of Vince McMahon. So, who does he work with? Have more respect for the Costco guys, because at least they made it to the big time. Tom Green could have wrestled. Could he have wrestled? I saw David Arquette wrestle, and I was like, man, I wish that was Tom Green. I wish David Arquette was secretly Tom Green. If Tom Green was WC, nobody would complain, because Tom Green is funny. David Arquette married Courtney Arquette, and he has one testicle, and he's not funny. He needs to fucking get fat. He's too skinny. But he looked good in the ring at 50. You can fold children in half, and high school girls can stand on their toes. But when women grow up, they don't want to do any of that shit. They don't want to get folded in half, and nobody wants to stand on your toes. Nobody wants to lift heavy weights. Okay? Stop pretending that's what you want. What you want to do is push a wheelchair. You don't want to be in a wheelchair. Like Lex Luger. I hope I get arrested. I just want to go chill. I'll be like, what are you going to do? I'm a national hero. I'm innocent. You can't deport me. I would enjoy it to be arrested. Sit me down in the back of the squad car, officer. Deep thoughts. Not if but if it's like a Friday night, that sucks. You want to get arrested on Monday. When was the last time I was arrested? Good. Military police arrestment doesn't count. The civilian arrest doesn't count. So, I can't remember the last time. Maybe I was playing Magic the Gathering in 1999, and I almost got in a fight with some kid. And I swear he did slash my tires. That's right. I had my tire slashed in Pasadena at a Friday night Magic the Gathering tournament. But beat the shit out of this kid. He put his pack of cigarettes down next to me, and I crushed it. And then it turned into like, the police are here. I was in the back of a squad car, and I just told them, this kid, I crushed that kid's pack of cigarettes. He's like 18. They had to let me go. You better be old enough to be, look, this is my pack. I ain't gonna put it down near somebody. You fucking kid. Shit. Good memory. But then I couldn't play Magic the Gathering at that club anymore. That's also where I played a couple video games on PC. You gotta drop like $10 on Friday just to get 3 packs to play in a booster tournament. There's 45 card. What? You can basically get a full pack. Yeah, but I'm not gonna explain booster tournaments. There's a way to play Magic with a single pack of cards, but it's not optimized. And I would still be down for a game. Okay, I'm gonna finish my beer. Malt liquor. Come on, give me a view count. I have all the valor. I stole all the valor. So when they talk about stolen valor, yeah, I just want to say I got as much as I could. It's a lot to carry around. How about that? How about that? How about that? Is Devontae Adams washed? He's begging his teammates to stay on the team another year. Would you want to play with the Rams? Go play in Australia? So what I'm thinking about, just I like to write down. This is my my diary, dear diary. Hit chat with hard words. What was the craziest thing I said tonight? I said all the crazy talk last episode. Trump should take Baja and kick Serbian immigrants out of Pennsylvania. Who will inherit America? It's like a fucking Morgan here. That guy died. That guy died. I just don't want to die here. But they're gonna tear the building down this year, so everybody has to go. Still time for a couple more obituaries. Soy 6. Am I interested in this Soy 6? SOI 6. These dancing girls in the Desire stream. Why would you want to be the best looking girl? You'd be the one who gets the most drinks and you'd be the fattest in a week. I'm just looking at fucking babes. In case you're all mistaken. Babes. Look at these babes. 9. I like 9. I like 9. 9 stands out. 9 is standing out. 21, come to the center. The violent hand slapping, that's a turn off. She's with the non-violent arm gestures, the arm caressing, the confusion. She can't find. Do you have lice? Do you have lice, baby? Are you covered in fucking hair? Cat hair or something? How about this girl? How about this girl? I tell you, this girl here, number 9. Number 9. You're damn right. Let's drop a 9 in chat. 9. Yeah. At 9. Here comes number. Who are the girls that? What number is that? I'm looking at babes. Dudes think you. I want to read their comment instead all day. No. Desire on soy 6. I like her feet. She has no shoes. She has one shoe on. Those thighs. That face. A butter face. Butter face. Sheena Shaw. Butter buns. I'm never gonna click on that video, man. I do not want to watch a woman rub butter all over her ass. I'm not interested. Okay. I stole all the valor. That's right. 82nd Airborne, come and get me. Pull me. Yeah, pull me. She's pinching her fucking. She's pinching. She might have to use the bathroom. She's pinching. Pull me, yeah. You guys don't know what I'm looking at. I'm gonna wrap my episode because that's it. That's it. The episode's over. You know, you can watch me hit the vape pen one more time. What's going on today? No, I will look at the Penguins. Look at the hockey standings. Westinghouse, my ass. Air brakes. Oh, you're incredible. Pittsburgh made air brakes so trains can go faster. That's it. My goddamn NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins have a 1-game winning streak. In their last 10, they are 6-2-2. 6 wins, 2 losses, 2 ties. I swear they're tying a lot this year. Why are the Penguins tying? They have so many overtime losses. Overtime losses. The Boston Bruins can't get one. The Kings have 13 overtime losses. That's how you get half a point in the standings, right? Vegas has 12 gold. 12. The Penguins have 11. So they're top 3. The Penguins are a top 3 hardest team to beat. You're going to play in overtime if you're going to watch the Penguins play. But remember, I told you I'd rather watch the Kings. Traditionally I'm a Kings fan. The Kings lead the league in overtime losses. Golden Knights, Kings, and Penguins. The only 3 teams with over 10 overtime losses. Bo Nix uses face paint. I didn't really think about it, that's right, but does Brandon Perma paint his face? Brandon Perma paint? Is that Bo Nix? Is that Bo Nix? Look at that Bo Nix. Bo Nix. Bo Nix right here. Everybody thinks he's the sexiest man in Denver. You wanna have his baby or my baby? Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Let the baby get dead. Where is my other pen? There it is. The pen is mightier than the comment. $46 I'm gonna push an hour. I'll push the hour on the episode. We have a nice buzz. Back hurts. Tricep extensions, I don't do enough. Go. Go. The Bell Hotel, restaurant and bar. BBC, I'm clicking 29 minutes ago. An incident, a police officer was temporarily blinded while driving near the Bell Hotel. Yeah, right. Okay, article completed. To the next article. 9 Guatemalan police officers dead after gang attacks. Decimated. Pray for the decimated. My unit was decimated. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to be alive. I worship the $200 rocket that almost killed me. I don't give a shit about bullets or Call of Duty loadouts. Indirect fire is the #1 casualty leader. Are the World War II documentaries dying up? Let me crank up some World War II. Get the World War II in here, Ted. You're losing your edge. Filters today. Let's watch. Who's desperate U.S. World War II bluffs? We're bluffing because we're diddling you under the table. War crime in 21 minutes. Criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal.
Massacre. On December 13th, 1937, 2 years before Hitler invaded Poland, in what many historians see as the true beginning of World War II in Asia, Japanese forces captured the Chinese capital of Nanking after weeks of fighting. What followed became one of the most brutal atrocities of the Second World War. For 6 weeks, Japanese soldiers murdered at least 100,000 Chinese civilians and disarmed soldiers. Most estimates put the toll between 200,000 and 300,000. The killings of many mass executions were carried out along the Yangtze River, where thousands were lined up, machine gunned, and their bodies dumped into the water. Soldiers went house to house, dragging out men for execution. Chinese prisoners of war were marched to designated killing grounds, tied together and shot. Historians agree that sexual violence was widespread during the massacre, with countless women and girls assaulted and many not surviving the attacks. John Rabe, a German businessman who stayed in Nanking, established a safety zone that sheltered about 200,000 civilians. He and other foreigners documented the atrocities in diaries and photographs, smuggling evidence out of the city. Minnie Vautrin, an American missionary, protected thousands of women at Ginling College, though soldiers still broke in repeatedly to drag women away. The Japanese military covered up the massacre initially, and when reports reached the outside world, they were dismissed as propaganda. After the war, the International Military Tribunal for the Far East held trials in Tokyo. Commander Iwan Matsui was convicted of failing to prevent...
Burn you in a fire pit, bitch!
In 1948. Lieutenant General Hisao Tani was executed by Chinese authorities in 1947 for his direct role...
Drag you by a car!
Yet many perpetrators were never prosecuted. The massacre remains controversial today, with some Japanese officials and textbooks downplaying or denying its extent.
Throw you in a pit!
Ongoing diplomatic tensions with China. Unit 731. Between
You're gonna climb that mountain!
1945, the Japanese Imperial Army operated
With my gun in your
a
back.
biological and chemical warfare research program in Manchuria, known as Unit 731. Under the command of Lieutenant General Shiro Ishii, the unit conducted grotesque experiments on living human subjects, mostly Chinese civilians, Korean prisoners, Soviet prisoners of war, and others deemed enemies of the state. At least 10,000 people were killed in the experiments themselves, and some researchers argue that tens of thousands more died in field tests across China. The facility, located near Harbin in northeast China, was disguised as a water purification unit. Inside,
Nuclear.
prisoners were infected with diseases like plague, cholera, anthrax, and typhoid to study the progression of infection without treatment. Subjects were dissected while still alive and conscious to observe the effects on living tissue. Frostbite experiments involved freezing limbs and then testing different methods of thawing them. Reports from former staff and post-war testimonies describe that some prisoners had limbs amputated and reattached to different parts of their bodies. Others were placed in pressure chambers until their eyes popped out or were spun in centrifuges until death. Flamethrowers and grenades were tested on live prisoners tied to stakes.
Spray!
It also conducted field tests, releasing plague-infected fleas over Chinese cities, causing outbreaks that killed
Fleas
tens of
ain't
thousands.
shit to me.
Water supplies were poisoned with cholera and typhoid. Contaminated food was distributed to villages. Prisoners were referred to as logs, dehumanizing them completely. Guards were told that the subjects were not human, which made the torture easier to carry out. As the war
Codename
ended in
log.
August 1945, Unit 731 destroyed most of the evidence. Buildings were blown up, remaining prisoners were killed, and documents were burned. The staff fled back to Japan. After the war, the United States granted immunity to Ishii and his top researchers in exchange for their data on biological warfare. This information was considered too valuable to lose, even though it had been obtained through mass murder. No one from Unit 731 was prosecuted by the Americans. Some members were later tried by the Soviet Union
Big
in the
sad.
Komarovsk war crimes trials in 1949, where 12
War
were
crime
convicted
80%
and received
speed
prison
run.
sentences. Ishii himself lived freely in Japan until his death in 1959.
It's easy for the screen to steal our time. Less contribute to find more. Full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Siggy's, less sets you free.
Does your construction company's hiring process look a lot like this? We watch a lot of DIY TikToks. Only available...
Bataan Death March. On April 9, 1942, after months of fighting on the Bataan Peninsula in the Philippines, approximately 76,000 Filipino and American soldiers surrendered to Japanese forces. It was the largest surrender in American
War
military
crimes.
history. What followed was a forced march that became one of the most notorious
I do war
atrocities of
crimes.
the Pacific War. The prisoners, already weakened by months of combat,
I'm American.
disease, and starvation, were forced to march over 60 miles in tropical heat. to
80
prison
seconds.
camps. Japanese guards showed no mercy. Anyone who fell behind, asked for water, or tried to help others was beaten, bayoneted, or shot. Prisoners were packed so tightly together that some
Bayoneted.
suffocated. They were denied food and water for days. When they reached artesian wells,
You
along the
hungry?
route, guards often refused to let them drink or shot those who tried. Some
Sit
prisoners
back
were
now.
forced to sit in the sun for hours without shade. Others were buried alive.
You buried here.
Malaria and beriberi killed many during the march itself. Bodies lined the roads. Some estimates suggest that between 5,000 and 18,000 Filipino soldiers died, along with 500 to 650 Americans. Those who survived the march reached Camp O'Donnell, where conditions were equally horrific. Overcrowding, lack of sanitation, and disease killed thousands more in the following months. At Camp O'Donnell alone, approximately 1,500 Americans and 26,000 Filipinos died within weeks of arrival.
O'Donnell.
The Death March became
Neil
widely
O'Donnell.
known after the war through survivor
Steelers
testimony.
quarterback.
General Masaharu Hama,
Super Bowl
commanded Japanese forces in the
2030.
Philippines, was tried by an American military tribunal in Manila in 1946. He was found guilty of war crimes for failing to control his troops and prevent the atrocities. Hama was executed by firing squad on April 3, 1946. Other officers involved in the march were also tried and executed. Caton Massacre. In early 1940, thousands of Polish military officers, intellectuals, police officers, and other members of the Polish elite were held in Soviet prison camps following the Soviet invasion of Poland in September 1939. In the spring of 1940, following an order signed by Stalin and the Politburo, approximately 22,000 prisoners were secretly executed. The largest group, around 4,400 officers, were taken to the Caton Forest near Smolensk, where they were shot in the back of the head and buried in mass graves. Other executions took place at prisons in Kalinin and Kharkiv. The victims included military officers, doctors, lawyers, professors, teachers, engineers, and priests. The goal was to eliminate Poland's leadership class and make the country easier to control. Their bodies were then transported to burial sites. The Soviet government denied involvement for decades, blaming the massacre on Nazi Germany. In 1943, when German forces occupied the area, they discovered the mass graves of Caton and used the discovery for propaganda purposes, although the evidence they presented was largely accurate. The Soviets continued to deny responsibility, even charging German forces with the crime during the Nuremberg trial. Poland was under Soviet control after the war, so public discussion of Nazis was forbidden. Families of victims were harassed or imprisoned if they spoke out. It was not until 1990, during the glasnost period under Mikhail Gorbachev, that the Soviet Union officially admitted responsibility. Documents were released showing Stalin's signature on the execution orders. In 2010, the Russian State Duma issued a statement acknowledging Soviet responsibility and expressing regret. However, Russia has resisted labeling it as genocide and has not prosecuted anyone. Memorials exist in Poland and abroad, and families of victims continue to seek full justice and recognition. Manila Massacre. In February 1945, as American forces closed in on Manila to liberate the city from Japanese occupation, Japanese troops trapped inside began a systematic campaign of killings, brutality, and destruction that lasted nearly a month. The Manila Massacre claimed the lives of an estimated 100,000 Filipino civilians, making it one of the worst urban atrocities of World War II. Japanese forces, knowing they were defeated, turned their rage on the civilian population. Admiral Sanji Iwabuchi ordered his naval troops to defend Manila to the death rather than retreat as ordered by General Tomoyuki Yamashita. As the battle intensified, Japanese soldiers went neighborhood by neighborhood, killing entire families. At the Red Cross building, soldiers killed doctors, nurses, and patients. At the German club, they locked refugees inside and set the building on fire, burning hundreds alive. Those who tried to escape were machine gunned. At the Beiju Hotel, Japanese troops imprisoned and repeatedly assaulted hundreds of women and girls. At Paco Church, soldiers killed priests and civilians sheltering inside, then burned the bodies. One of the most horrific incidents occurred at the Manila Cathedral, where soldiers massacred refugees, including women and children, with bayonets and grenades. The destruction was not random. Buildings were systematically blown up or burned. By the time American forces secured the city on March 3, 1945, Manila was in ruins. After the war, General Yamashita was tried by an American military commission in Manila. Although he had ordered a retreat from the city, he was held responsible for failing to control his subordinate, Admiral Iwabuchi, who died during the battle. Yamashita was convicted and executed in February 1946. The trial was controversial, with critics arguing that a commander should not be held responsible for subordinates acting against orders. Oradour sur Glane. On June 10, 1944, just 4 days after D-Day, men from the 2nd SS Panzer Division, Das Reich, surrounded the village of Oradour sur Glane in central France. The unit had been ordered north to help repel the Allied invasion, but was frustrated by resistance attacks along the way. They decided to make an example of the village. At around 2 p.m., SS troops sealed off all roads and ordered every resident to gather in the village square for an identity check. The soldiers claimed they were searching for hidden weapons and resistance fighters. The men were separated from the women and children, who were locked inside the church. The men were divided into groups and taken to barns and other buildings around the village. There, machine guns had been set up. Without warning, soldiers opened fire on their legs, aiming to wound rather than kill outright. Then they piled straw and wood on the wounded men and set them on fire, burning them alive. Those who tried to escape were shot. In the church, the women and children heard the gunfire and began to panic. Soldiers then carried in an incendiary device, possibly a smoke bomb or explosive, and detonated it. The church filled with thick black smoke and flames. As women and children tried to flee through the doors and windows, fired on them. Inside, mothers suffocated or burned to death with their children. One woman, Marguerite Roufanche, survived by jumping out of a window behind the altar, though she was shot and wounded. Out of 642 people in Oradour that day, 190 men, 247 women, and 205 children were murdered. Only 7 survived. After the killings, the SS looted the village and set fire to every building. The entire village was destroyed. The soldiers left the bodies where they lay. When French authorities arrived days later, they found charred remains still inside the church and barns. The ruins were left untouched by order of Charles de Gaulle as a memorial. After the war, 21 men were tried in 1953 in Bordeaux. 14 were German nationals from the SS.
21
and 7 were
53.
Frenchmen from Alsace who had been forcibly conscripted. The trial caused controversy in France because punishing the Alsatians divided the nation. Most received light sentences, and many were released within years. Babin Yar. On September 29th and 30th, 1941, in a ravine called Babin Yar on the outskirts of Kyiv, German forces carried out one of the largest single massacres of Jews during the Holocaust. In just 2 days, 33,771 Jewish men, women, and children were shot and killed. The massacre was organized by SS Obergruppenführer Friedrich Jeckeln and carried out by members of Einsatzgruppe C, along with German order police, Ukrainian auxiliary...
Einsatzgruppe C. Einsatzgruppe C. Einstraps, huh? Those tractors. We'll have all the trucks and all the tractors. You caught me during my King's education in logistics. And this episode's over. Thanks for affording me